Hey guys, I want to show you something. Take a look at what used to be two beautiful tennis courts that I used to use, and take a look what happened. Now we have pickleball going on. They built a bunch of pickleball courts where tennis courts used to be, and this is happening all across the United States. So in today's video I want to answer a very important question. Is pickleball killing tennis? And guys, before I answer this question, I want to show you that there are still 4 tennis courts over on the other side of the road. So they only converted 2 tennis courts into pickleball. So no, pickleball is not killing tennis. And I'm going to get into some stats by the USTA where you will see that tennis is doing quite well. And guys, I made several pickleball videos, one dating back to very early on when I started my YouTube channel, because I've been observing this trend for more than 5 years now. Even before I started my YouTube channel, I saw people playing pickleball more than tennis. Here in Florida especially, I would be on the tennis courts and it'd be completely empty, and pickleball courts would be jam-packed with people waiting in line. So this is something that I've been observing in Florida. So I made a video close to a year ago, and the video was titled "Pickleball is Killing Tennis." This was just my observation here in Florida. Now a lot of you guys reached out to me privately through DMs and emails and informed me that no, this is not true, Nick. Pickleball is not killing tennis. Tennis is doing quite well in other parts of the country, especially in a place like New York City. And one of my students that I'm really close to, shout out to Jay, he would send me pictures of people standing in line at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning to be able to get a tennis court. And these people would stand in line for 2 hours in order to play tennis. So it is absolutely not true. Pickleball is by no means killing tennis, and there's numbers from the USDA that confirm this. So let me read you this. Earlier this year, the USDA announced that more than 22.6 million players took to court in 2021. This number was a 4.5% increase from 2020 and a 27.9% increase from 2019, and an increase of 4.9 million players from 2019 to 2021. Tennis total increase of 4.9 million players in the 2-year span exceed the total growth of all other racket sports combined, including pickleball, badminton, table tennis, and padel. So guys, that data right there proves that pickleball is not killing tennis. Tennis is doing quite well in the United States, but even internationally. I spent a lot of time in Europe this summer and I observed that tennis is doing phenomenally well. In a country like Italy, for example, there's quite a tennis boom going on there, and possibly in other countries in Europe as well. If you look at professional tournaments, you'll see that the stands are packed and there's a lot of interest for tennis. So you're probably thinking, Nick, why are you making another pickleball video? Why are you standing in the kitchen telling us all this? Because there is a problem, guys. Even though tennis is doing well, there is a war going on between pickleball players and tennis players. And there's an article that just came out in the New York Times titled, "Pickleball is Expanding, Tennis is Mad." And it shows the war that's going on between pickleball players and tennis players. So I highly encourage you to read this article. It is quite fascinating what is going on. And I've personally experienced this war as well. I get a lot of messages where tennis players are complaining that their local tennis courts are being turned into pickleball courts. I have had a lot of pickleball fans in my pickleball videos. Pickleball channel even did a reaction to one of my pickleball videos. I want to tell you that I have absolutely nothing against pickleball. I understand that it's an easy sport to pick up, it's a fun sport to play, it's a very social sport. I have absolutely no problem with people playing pickleball. But the problem is that pickleball, for whatever the reason may be, is trying to make it into the tennis scene somehow. Not only are tennis courts being converted into pickleball at a record number. This is happening all across the United States. I get a lot of people messaging me with petitions where people are trying to save their local tennis courts. But it's not only that. I don't get why pickleball and tennis cannot be separate entities. Why is it that pickleball has to be forced upon the tennis community, where there's a lot of tennis enthusiasts that hate pickleball? Why is pickleball being rubbed into our face? For example, on a recent cover of the tennis magazine, Ben Johns was featured on the cover. That's a professional pickleball player. I don't understand why Tennis Magazine would feature pickleball. I also don't understand why the Tennis Channel is showing pickleball matches, especially showing pickleball on the day that Roger Federer retires from tennis. And this is what gets us tennis players so angry. We don't care that you like pickleball, but when our beloved local tennis courts get turned into pickleball, we get very angry. But also when we start seeing pickleball in the tennis magazine, when we start seeing pickleball on the tennis channel, it makes absolutely no sense, and that's why we're angry. So what needs to happen for this war between pickleball and tennis to stop is that it has to be a separation between these two sports. The thing where tennis courts are being destroyed, this thing needs to stop because people love playing tennis. You can build pickleball courts separately from tennis. When it comes to featuring pickleball in a tennis magazine, this makes absolutely no sense. When it comes to pickleball being shown on the tennis channel, this makes absolutely no sense. These things need to be separated. And look, I understand that people see this as an opportunity to make money, especially when we're talking about tennis clubs or even tennis magazine or the tennis channel. They're just going after what people are interested in. I don't blame them for that. This makes sense from a financial standpoint. But what they also need to understand when they do things like that, a lot of tennis players are going to get very angry, and this war is going to continue. And tennis clubs have to be blamed as well. The Bobby Riggs Tennis Club in California has the following slogan: once a full tennis facility, now a pickleball player's dream. And just to be transparent with you guys, I want to tell you that there's a brand new trend that I've been observing that a lot of pickleball players are going to dislike, and it's the following. A lot of high-level tennis players and former professional level tennis players are converting to pickleball. I know two former professional players, these are friends of mine, that are going to try to play prize money pickleball tournaments. And I'm sure you've heard that Noah Rubin, junior Wimbledon champion, a phenomenal tennis player, is going to try to play professional pickleball, and so is former top 10 player Sam Querrey. In a recent podcast that I listened to, hosted by one of the best pickleball players in the world, that had Sam Querrey on as a guest, they were talking about the fact that Sam Querrey can easily get into the top 10 in the world of professional pickleball. So I think this is a trend that you're going to see more and more. High-level tennis players are going to see pickleball as an opportunity to make some money. And I'm not by any means saying that Sam Querrey and Noah Rubin are playing pickleball to make money at it. I'm not saying that at all. They're probably playing pickleball because they like it. It's fun for them. But I do think that tennis is the king of all racket sports. If you have high-level tennis players or professional level tennis players enter the high level or the professional pickleball scene, they're gonna do extremely well. So guys, I keep making pickleball videos because this is a super important topic that a lot of people are talking about. A lot of people are upset about this. And the solution to ending this war, this drama, there needs to be a separation between the sport of pickleball and the sport of tennis.